Um, who else is on the line?
No clue. No clue. Let's see.
A couple other people on the line.
Yeah, we got Claude, we got Wyatt, we got Ravi.
All right. If you guys could hear me okay, that's fine. I'll just quickly do a Thinkorswim setup. I know some of the guys are fairly new here. I don't know who's new to Thinkorswim or who's been using it, but regardless, I think it's good for us to do a quick setup, given that a lot of us are fairly new to Thinkorswim, that's looking to trade. So what I have here, this is a pretty flat out chart, right? Usually when you log in, you'll see the most simple format, right? It's your chart mode. If you do standard, Heiken, whatever you want to do, this is a standard setup along with, actually nothing else. You just see volumes and you see basic charts, right? So what you need to do is to kind of have the view here. So this is the view. I'll just leave it here for a second and you can look. All right, so this is when you log in, you have no scripts, no other junks whatsoever, right? So we'll keep it, oh, I think there's no password. Did you needed a password?
Yeah, no, I didn't need a password. You just click it and join.
I don't know. Juan asking if there's a password. Not that I have set up any password, but let me just check. Give me 1 second. Okay, we got Chris, Yogesh, Claude, Ravi, one. Okay, we are good. But then at the same time, Juan's asking for a password. That's weird. I haven't set it up. I haven't set up any password yet. Unless they're, sorry about that, guys. It's when someone's asking questions. Chris, you didn't see any password, right?
No, you just click the link.
Yeah, that's what I was a bit worried. I see people are joining. Okay, that's fine. Let him see. Okay, if you could respond him to the room, I will go from now. Okay, so I'll just leave it here. All right, guys. So quick. I just want to do this pretty quick. I know it's Friday. Everybody got plans for the long weekend.
No plans, sir.
Yeah, so this is the plain.
Yeah.
Hi, who joined?
Can you go change into a diaper?
Yeah, if you could mute yourself and then unmute when you have questions. So time frame, typically I'll have it day trade. I'm not worried about any of these right now since we're just talking about chart setup. So when you log in, this is what you pretty much look into it. So you could change it to chart type and go into
Heiken. But it's all relative from drastic underperformance.
Yeah, so Heikin-Ashi is pretty straightforward. It cuts out all the exogenous noise for us to kind of focus on the candle. This is very basic compared to the regular charts as you've seen in the other ones, right? There's many different types of charts. People use this trend. I used to use a lot of trend ones. Trend's still good. It kind of shows you what the trend is on a daily. But what it does, it creates unnecessary noise, like a lot of weeks, a lot of tops or whatnot. So I like using the Heikin-Ashi. So Heikin-Ashi kind of gives you a flow. So every time you see big candles, it's obviously the reverse or any big candles, it cuts out all the unnecessary noises. If you see longer wicks downtrend, it keeps coming down. As soon as you see other types of wick, if it's on the upside or on the downside, it's pretty flawless. In my sense, I mean, I could be wrong. I know people see things differently. And then, oh, what? Why is he asking for password again? I do not have any password set. This is weird. But anyways, yeah, so when you see, this is pretty easy trend reversal. I posted the video on how to use this or how to read candle. It's pretty fluent. You take it from here on and pretty much, you know, set it up. And then obviously you will need your other indicators if you feel comfortable using that. This is pretty much, you know, buy day, sell day, sell this on the candle side or the volume. It's just pretty flat out. Then what you guys could do is to change things around as needed, right? So I have multiple indicators that I use, right? So this is the study bar here on top, as you see that. And then you type in, you know, if you have sets or if you want anything differently, anything that you prefer, you should be able to add it from the study sets or strategies or sets. So I have a set that I use, right? I have one for day trade, one for, you know, 1 hour charts. There's multiple different ones that I could add it. So here I would come into studies and type in, you know, obviously like these are all the SPY, like, you know, ones that I have here. I set it up on different ways, right? So what you could do if you want something, you know, that's specific to your need, you could definitely do, like, for example here, right? I have auto trend one, which is I added on the price, swing ones. You could look into different time frame, but basically what you need to do is set up, let's say, volume average, right? You type in VOL and then you do AVG, it will give you vol average, right? So it usually comes into the lower one. So what it does when you apply it, automatically changes the entire look of it in a different manner, right? So it gives you the volume bars here. It gives you different time frame. Look, also it gives you like a trend line. And I also have additional ones, which I like to use, you know, support and resistance. I would come back here and I say, you know, I named it. I shared it with you guys, all of it. It's all in the TOS Thinkorswim script. So you can just save it as with your own name and call it support or resistance. Then I add this one here. And then I add, you know, DMAs or EMAs, whichever ones you prefer. Typically I would do three times, as you could see here, right? And then change each of it. You click on this gearbox and you change it to whatever time you want. If you want, you know, 20 days moving averages, okay, you could change the color to whichever forms you want. If I like it to be shown as green because that's the usual time. And then I say the show effects, show plots. Yeah, I don't need all these bubbles. I just say show plot, right? And then I click OK. I do the same thing over again. I'm into the second set. I change it to yellow because that's the either 50-day or 30 days, whichever ones you guys prefer, should be able to change it to either 50, 20, 100. That's the most I would go on a swing time, right? So I the 50 and I change the color and I say, okay, there's no bubbles, pick that, and then change the last one, right? So 100, or whichever time frame you prefer. That's, you know, purely up to you if you look at shorter time. But I like it being, you know, the 50, 20, and 100. And then I change this one to, let's say, more of a darker color, right? Okay, and then I hit OK button, and then I said apply. So when I apply it, what it does, it brings me back all to this my support and resistance lines here. And you could obviously change these in terms of what you are looking to do. Whether do you want too much of these or too much of the other item, you don't really need it. It's better to have a clear, as you can see, nicely showed up. This is my 20-day. 50-day and 100-day moving averages, and that's the auto trend line. If you click on it, you will see, you know, what it says, right? What each of it says. I play around with a lot of this settings of it, and then it automatically, you know, shows up on the chart. So again, you know, I know there's a lot more advanced studies that you guys could use, but if you want to try different things, different items, you know, different indicators, feel free to just throw them in there and see how it works. I prefer basic stuff. You don't want too many things. At times I like things charts to be clear. So I'll show you the stuff that I had sent to you guys on the TOS script, how it works. Then I'll also have, let's say, SP. I look for my ones, and then I have buy and sell pressure, right? This is a pretty good one where I could see either it's a buy or if it's a sell, right? And that's one of it. And then I also have the reversal one. This is pretty good. It kind of gives you a pure indicator in terms of what I am looking to buy or sell. It kind of gives not 100%, but it kind of gives you a sense in terms of where you want to see the tickers. So for example, you guys see these little arrows here. If one of you guys could confirm yes, no, then I'll know.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, these are, you know, I typically, I could change around with these settings. What I do, I right click on it, right, edit studies. And then I have all these other junks, which I kind of check off. I just want to see what it is. You could go into the tool. I keep the resistant one as red, and I keep the support as, you could change it to either green, red, whichever color you want. And then I check off everything else. So I know where the plots is, but it doesn't have to be, you know, on the screen. See, now it's a lot more clear. I just see where it is, R1, R3. And I just keep this line because this gives you a lot more fluent one. It kind of, you know, gives you a sense of what you're looking at here. There's multiple other ways you could do things. You could also click off one of these, edit studies, you know, trend line. You could just come here and say trend line 1. I don't need all that junk. You cancel it out. Trend line BA. Yeah, I don't need to show all this. I don't like when it's too much noise, right? You could always play around with it. It's how you prefer to see. If you see a lot of things you want to see, go for it. I like to cut the noises. The chart's a lot more clear. I know some of the guys are very advanced. They use a lot more stuff. See, look how it's holding up the trend line. Look, as you guys can see, right? Trend line 1, 2, it's nicely holding up. So things like that works. It gives you a clear sense, and it kind of cuts out a lot of the noises. If you look into play, I don't know, for some reason this one is not interacting, but this is a good indicator where it tells you average volume times what's been happening. When you say daily volume here at the bottom, it takes 30 days, and then it kind of aggregates it onto a daily, and then you see what's today's volume, the percent change, average 30 bar, car bar. You could change all this setting. It's all a matter of how you want to set it up, or how do you want to do your generic settings. I'll take a pause here. I will let you guys ask questions and anything you want to be able to see what works and how do you want to implement this. So I'll leave it open to you guys for any questions. So you guys clear on it before I move on?
I'm good.
I mean, you guys don't have to be shy, you know, feel free to speak up. that's what, you know, that's what we like to, I like to hear from you guys, you know, and see what guys want to, I'll unmute everybody. If you guys want to say something, just throw it in the question, or you could just type it into the lounge. I have the lounge open. Obviously, I can see it there. If you have any questions, do put it in there, and I'll take it from there. So I'll move on for now. So if any of all the indicators I already posted, so you could feel free to take whichever ones you want. And the most important one that I didn't mention, so let's say I take this one off, I'll just move this up. The most important one is your RSI, right? Your RSI indicators. This tells you what are you expecting. So it's defaulted to 70, 30 on an average of 40.
Hey, Spy, you got a question. It's in Discord, though. Wyatt wants to know, he missed the part about the auto trend line setup.
Got you. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. I'll send it out. So here you guys could set it up in many different ways. How do you like to see it? Uptrend, downtrend, RSI. So I keep it simple. I keep it overbought. Obviously, someone bought it too much. They want to sell it. This is normal. Oversold, I'll just say as green. And the normal is obviously the distribution line on the flat is on straight line. So I don't want to see any of the other stuff. It just creates a lot of noise, and then I'll just keep it, let's say, overbought green, oversold. I'll change it to red, and I'll change my setting to 50-day. Why I would keep it at 50-day? It gives me a good range. If it's anything over 50 or it touches it, once I set it up, you guys will see it. It gives a good sense of, in terms of, how the market is doing. 50, above 50, below 50, and the zero line, right? So I'll change this to all to 50, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. And then I'll hit apply. So now the entire thing changes automatically. You guys could see it here, right? How can we tell if there is a sell-off? Tang, let me get back on that, but let me go to the first question. Tang, you asked me how to set up the auto trend line. Okay, so I have the auto trend line. Let me show you. Let me go back here. Sorry, I know. Sorry. Tan is in Singapore, by the way, guys. If you guys didn't know, if we have an international trader, he's in Singapore. I think his wife is sleeping, so he's typing it in, not talking much. And this is the indicator. It's pretty much the same way you would add any other indicator. I have it here as with my name, and I just say the SPY, trend or whatever. And you will see it. It says auto trend here, right? And I add selected, and it shows up here. And then hit apply, right? So this is one of the items that it shows up the auto line here, auto trend line. So you could change it to, either the yellow ones, you could take it out, just click here, edit studies, and you could remove whichever ones you want. If you don't want it, maybe you want to, I don't like the two A's. It gives a lot of noises. It becomes too much. I just want to see the overall trend, because there's like a trend inside a trend. It becomes crazy. So I'll do just apply.
It works on, not to cut you off, Spy, that works on any of your time frames. You can go to daily, 15-minute, it auto trends for you.
Yeah, all of this, you see the support resistance. So I'm on daily now, right? If I go to 15, it will work just the same.
Yep, I see.
It will work just the same, right? See why I said Heikin-Ashi? It's pretty neat, right? So we could see it here, Tang. I don't know how can we tell if there's a sell-off. So if I look at the shorter time frame, I mean, there's no way of predicting what the previous price is indicating to the next period time. So what I do, I will look at here, right? Obviously, you see, you have your supports, you have your resistance, you have your DMA indicators, and your trend line. Oftentimes, when you see a candle like this, indecision candles, or somewhat, there's no wick at the bottom, and all of a sudden you see a drop, this becomes more of an indicator. And then 1, 2. Typically, I would wait for three candles, either it's red or green. That gives me a good sense of direction, right? Either you're looking at 5 minutes charts, 10 minutes charts, and whatnot. So you could add it into any time frame you wanted, and then kind of go from there. That'll give you a good sense of how these are done. So obviously you need to prepare anytime you see. So this is the auto trend one. I click here, you see this is the reversal. So every time a reversal occurs on the previous candles, this should be your signal to get out. Right here, you see the arrow on top? It gives you a flat top with an arrow down. That means this should be a stop loss. You enter here. Obviously, you write it down and then enter here again. If you're looking at scalping time frame, preferably if you are fairly new to trading, or if you are new to Thinkorswim or any trading platform. I don't know how the other one works, but I start at typically a 15-minute time frame. It gives you more time to kind of take your step back and look at the charts and see, hey, okay, I want to see where the trend is. So you have enough time to look into here what's happening in the next 15 minutes. And if you want to do quick scalping, obviously you could go to a shorter time frame, right? It's a lot more noise here compared to the 15 minutes. It gives you like up and down, up and down. I mean, this is today's chart. It doesn't really give you a good sense. It's just up and down. Look how the RSI is acting with each of it, right? Price came down, RSI came down, triggered off, went up, trigger down, trigger down, trigger down. Look, everything kind of lines up. If you could see it, look right here, the RSI is crossing over the 50 line and it jumped over a bit. So here, then RSI came on top, then RSI started coming down. So it's kind of, you have to follow not only the price action here, obviously the volume is more important. This indicator here at the bottom, I will go back into this one here. This is a buy and sell pressure, right? It sets in the volume. I took out the volume average one, and I just wanted to see this and see what it means for me. If it's a buy or sell, where it's coming up, even if you look at the shorter time frame. So this should give a picture if there's a buy pressure or sell pressure, if it's green or red. So look, every time there's a red one, look how it came down. So to answer your question, Tang, this is a good indicator. I like using this. Typically what I would do if I want to do like a day trade or swing, I could always have set up in two different screens, right? Here you come down, like right all the way to the top, right? And then you click 2, 3, whichever ones you want. I mean, I have literally 16 tickers on 2 different time frames, and it's not even funny. It's just way all over the place. So look how crazy it looks. It just doesn't look any good to me. And it doesn't tell me, it's too much noise here. So I'll just like to keep it. Let's say I have my setup here. I come my drawing, my styles. I come here and I will load my styles, and I'll do spied hourly, right? And it will automatically change to my hourly settings. You guys could always change the setting and save it. I'll show you guys how to do that settings. So this gives me 2. So this is all I have when I'm day trading. Whenever you see my live streaming, this is what I have: an hourly one, and then the daily one. What is it telling me on the hourly one? I would love to see. Same here, right? Tesla gave me an in. This was Thursday, midday, gave me an entry point, came up on top all the way to 32, and it's just showing you an overall what's happening. If it's an hour sell, I mean, this candle looks weird, right? It doesn't tell me, it's like all over. There's a long wick, then there's uptrend, and then shorter wick, and then boom, after hour, it kind of dumped. So I'll show you guys how to set this up and save it. So this is, let's say 5 minutes, right? And you have that. So I'll add one more indicator, which I find pretty useful. It takes time to understand how the Ttm squeeze works. So you should have it on your system. It's automatically called Ttm squeeze. You could set that up on the lower. It automatically shows up on the lower one. And then you hit apply. And oftentimes, I change the colors. I see how it is. So what does the squeeze does, right? When you look at squeeze, it kind of gives you a signal between red light and a green light, it kind of prepares you, right? Say, hey, something is about to fire up. Let me move it to the higher time frame, right? If you look at the higher time frame, it tells you, okay, squeeze happening, what's going on? Let me just look into this, right? Like this time frame, you want to look how big it is. I don't want to see all that. So kind of here, right? It's been setting up for a squeeze. It's not really happening. If you look at all the red dots, it's kind of your signal, right? Say, hey, watch out, something will squeeze up, depending what time frame you're looking at. It tells you, hey, if it's ready, all red. Oftentimes, I'll show you guys a good example when it really pops. Look right here. So it's been going. It's been holding squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's altogether almost few of the squeezes are here that was giving you a signal to either get out or to kind of get in. I'll show you if there's any get in one. Oh, but there you go. Whenever it clicks up, you'll see the upward, right? So you have to follow, literally, like kind of see it on a different time frame. I often use this one on a longer time frame. Let's see if I want to go into daily. Let me see my daily. Look how beautiful it looks. Right? It tells me the squeeze, the RSI, it's all kind of lining up. Do you guys see it here? From top, it's kind of coming down. This is the signal. Look how the RSI is coming down below the 50 line. Here's the squeeze is forming. It kind of green, right? When it's green, it's just kind of going in a move. It's not really squeeze forming. It is to fire it up or to fire it down. So you see this trend. It gives you enough time if you're looking at the daily. It's kind of coming down all the way at the bottom, 319. Then it starts picking up again. It turns yellow. So red to yellow, that means yes. Be ready. Eventually sell-off happen. It reversed right here on the 20th, the next day, and start running up. Still within the uptrend, right? So that's what you could look at. Typically, when I look at a new ticker that I never played, I usually do my top-down analysis. I start from my max time frame, right? Max time frame is as high as you can go, but weekly is pretty decent, unless you're buying a stock for long-term hold. This tells you this should be your everyday or your daily thing in terms of weekly you look at, right? Weekly charts. If you're looking to hold at least, a month long, 2 months, either it's a stock, option. Options is a different animal compared to stocks, but this is what the hedge fund guys, Goldman, name it. They look at, weekly charts, and they also look at monthly charts. Let me just add one more time. So you could come here, right? Let me go back and show you slowly. So this is the time frame chart. You click it here, right? You could come down to customize, and you could obviously play around with any settings you want. So let's say I'm missing my monthly time frame. So I go to add time frame. I will do daily, and I change it to, let's say, max time available. And I will do, let's say, monthly. This is the bigger time frame, right? This is the more, like the higher time frame to the lower, and I do apply. And I just save it. Now, guys, if I do run out, I'll send out another invite right away, okay? So I have about, I think, 10 minutes due to limitation. So I will resend that again, invite, just look out for it on the room. And then, let me just go back to the max time frame. Look at the max time frame. This is telling you each candle is a month long, right? So you'll see the overall trend is still okay, broke out. It hit that high in February of this month, came down, indecision, still kind of indecision. It looks like it's moving up. So a lot of the guys, senior guys, are kind of analyzing, thinking that Tesla to 900. That's what I know. A lot of in the room are expecting the same, that it will pop. We don't know. We kind of go from top down to lower time frame. Then you come to weekly. You see the weekly trend. What's happening in the trend? It's for quite a long time, and it's above the simple moving average. Kind of on a hold. So I would go into more shorter time, depending what time you could look at daily, hourly charts. I know Hammond, he put out some good charts. He's a short term trend. 4-hour charts. You know, this has been on consolidation for quite a bit between, you know, this trend here. 830 and 800 been holding up in this range. So it looks like it might be firing up or firing down. So for next week, if you look at the chart, I would literally come here on my hourly chart and see what is going on, right? Oh, look at it. I have a chart alert. See, set up the chart. Anyway, so I'll show you guys on the next session in terms of how to set up those alerts. So this is my generic, you know, pretty generic ones. You could use it on different time frames. Like this is my hourly one. I have sets. Once you come here, if you like the way you set it up, you could always save your settings as save as set, right? So you could say, you know, 1 hour, or you could say 5 hours. You could come here 1 hour, you save the set and you say, okay. And then you could also come back again and then change it to, let's say, change the timing around. You go to the charts and change it to, let's say 5 minutes, right? This is your 5 minutes, your daily 5 day, 5 minutes chart. So this is another settings. You could do the same thing here. You come here and then save as setting, right? And you could call it 5 minutes. I think most of you guys already have it. So when you have this, you could say, okay, and then obviously go into different time frame when you're ready to go. You could load up whichever you want. You could come here and say remove all and then set. You see how I set the set to 1 hour. I have, these are the settings I have here. Then I have this one I just showed you guys here. So I'll load this one. I'll say save this one and I'll say add. And obviously just have to take the volume, buy and sell pressure and put it back into the volume set and apply. Ooh. There you go. Oh, this is, I don't know where this came from. Look, so I think it changed the whole setting. Okay, no. Sorry about that. It jumped into the wrong settings. Remove all sets. I will do, let's say 5 minutes. Okay. I do add selected. Okay, there you go. So it comes back to where you are. Also, one more item I would like to add if you are day trading, right? Obviously, focus on your VWAP. So I would come back here, you know, just type in VWAP. Simple as is. There's no script needed. You could change it to whichever way you want. I have a pink color, you know, upper band. I don't need all this. I don't do, it's too much noise. I check off all this. And I come to VWAP and I change this to, let's say, this line here. And I just want to see what the VWAP. So what VWAP is volume weighted average price or value weighted average price. So kind of above VWAP, people wants to pay the true price. If it's below, people doesn't want to pay. So once I apply it, you will see how it works. Yeah, this blue. Look, it kind of works as a support and resistance as well. It works mostly on a shorter time frame, on an hourly, 4 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It shows up, and if you go a higher time frame, it doesn't show up. It automatically disappears. For example, if I go to a daily chart, yeah, see, like it becomes really clunkered and it doesn't look too good. So I'll take a pause here. If you have any questions, throw it in the lounge and I'll send out the new invite again because I think we are about to get cut off in 5 minutes. I'll take a pause and take questions for now.
We got to figure out how to put this on mobile.
On which one are you referring to, Chris?
The squeeze. Remember, I was showing you the other day, but it,
No,
all
so
the colors
the
don't show.
squeeze doesn't work. It wouldn't show you the color. It will only show you red and green. That's
Yeah.
the default. There's no way. I tried multiple different things. it just doesn't fit into the right criteria given that the way things is set, right? So it makes sense to do it. So it looks like the view up is setting up on a longer time frame. Yeah, it's good. You could set it up on this time frame as well. Yeah. So I'll take a pause. We have about 3 minutes. I'll restart and then we could go from there. Okay. Yeah, so everything I showed you guys here, it's all in our chat room in Discord thing on a TOS script. You could see it there. And then if you have any question, obviously, ping me or DT, so we could go from there. So I will send out the new invite right now. I'll end this one and we'll continue on to the next session. All right, guys, let me send out the invite to you guys right now. Okay, beautiful. I did the first one. I could share that with you guys here. Okay, see, when you add too many indicators, the charts started acting weird. So on the mobile one, I sent it. When you guys have time, just do the same way. Every time I share something, you have a setup here. You open shared item, right? You go to the Thinkorswim script, you open it, and then you just save it. Every time, let's say, for example, I wanted to save something from the room, or if I go to one of the tab, let's say, sorry, any questions? So this is my daily setup. I have different time zone and whatnot. So once you like it, you don't really have to do this every day, every morning. All you have to do is just come to the top gearbox where it says setup, and then you save Workspace as, and then you name it whichever one you want, right? You could name it your personal name or whichever, any name you want. And then you hit save button. Once you hit the save button, it automatically appears here, right? All the ones. So here you see how I have two different time set. This is, I have 5 minutes and hourly, and this is another setup. So I like to use different setup depending on what all you have to do in the morning when you come in, you just click this one. So what it will do, you will open up a new screen for you. I'll show you. It will come back automatically to this screen here, right? You see this one here. Can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and which app it is?
It's Thinkorswim. It's Thinkorswim.
Okay, thank you.
See now how it is showed up here? I have all these stickers. I have total of 4 ticker on each screen. So that's about 16 ticker on 4 different screens that comes up. I shared this with you guys. You guys could do the same thing if you want, or just do it manually. And I'll show you guys how to do it manually on each of these settings. You could obviously, you know, once you have your main Thinkorswim open, and then you could just easily, you know, convert over to, like, let's say charts. Let me see. Let me block this out. It's saved. All right, 21. There you go. So this is what
It's
you guys,
from,
yeah, this is the
from laptop or from mobile phone?
right?
This on from laptop or from mobile phone?
Oh no, this is from laptop. You cannot use all this screen.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, there's no way. It will work on your mobile. On the mobile, yeah, the indicators would work, some of these, but it wouldn't work on most of the item on the mobile. But laptop, desktop, any platform, this should work pretty nicely. So this is the setup I have. Once I click that, you will see I have all this, you know, different indicators, and I'll show you guys how to set it up. If you want to look at multiples, can you guys see all my indicators on one screen?
Yeah, we can able to see.
Okay, so what I have here, I have 2 different time frame, right? I have 5 minutes and I have my hourly charts. So usually when I, you know, log in the morning, I just keep it open here. I just do some adjustment, you know, I see what it is, and I just leave it open and I watch it where it's the support resistance, what's holding up, and you know what it is doing. I like this one. I have also where you see TCO and the other stuff here. I'll show you guys in a larger detail, but I'll show you how to save this one on your desktop. So when you come here, well, once you log in, you have one screen here. Now, if you want to do multiple ones, you could obviously change it to whichever ones you want. You know,
So you added your favorite stocks over there, and you're looking the graph of those stocks only, or you're looking for SPY or S&P?
yeah. So I have one side, I have my favorite ones that I always play. And then on the screen, I have any nuances that's added to the list or anything. Every time you guys ask me, hey, you know, Professor, can you look at this one? So I keep that up on a different time. But these, in terms of setting these up, you could always come here, right? All of it, and then how it changed, right? Now I have one screen only. It shows all this stuff. And
okay.
yeah, then if you come here and you do 4, or depending on your screen, how many you want, you could do 4, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. So my bigger screens where I have the other screen, I have it as this. You see how all this showed up? Right, then you could just type in, you know, SPY here and then SPY here. And then, you know, you could look at all different time and different ticker, different time frame. And then what you could do the same thing. Once you have this one, you want to add more, what you need to do is to come here on this gearbox on top and you detach it, right? You detach it, what it does, it kind of takes, it opens up another window. Then you have another 4. So you could keep adding it and have multiple screens, and you repeat the process, and you come here and detach it again. Once all that, your whole setup is done, you could just come here and, you know, save workspace as. When you click that, save workspace as. You see how I have 5 minutes and 1 hour, 5 and 1 hour, that's what I have. So all I have to do in the morning, I'll just come here and just click. All right, so I'll close it. I'll show you guys what else that I'm looking at on one charts. So this is the daily setup, right? Also, what you see here, I have the RSI Divergence. You see this one here? This is also custom built. I shared that with you guys on the room. This has a lot more stuff because this is what I use on a daily. But RSI Divergence happen whenever there's, you know, higher high mids or lower lows. You see it automatically changes. So you could kind of follow the divergence, what's happening in that time frame, or where, you know, how the RSI is reacting, what's a move. So whenever there's an RSI divergence happen, it signifies either a down on a higher highs or on a lower low, it signifies a uptrend. So I'll show you guys if I could see. See, look right here. A divergence happened between this yellow line at the bottom and this blue line here. Lower lows, and it pushed up. It kind of pushed up from here on. See, you just kind of have to study as you get used to it, what each of these indicators is doing. Because I look at multiple, so I need to use these. It has a lot of different tickers at times. But if I'm just looking at one ticker, I don't have to worry about any of the tickers. So I just look at my support and resistance, and I go from you know, price action, volume, and whatnot. So this is the setup I have. I shared everything with you guys. If you want, I'll show you guys how to kind of bring it to your Thinkorswim from my open space. So if you're on the computer, you could go to TOS scripts, right? Where you have TOS scripts. I set up something, I sent something last week where you guys will see a bunch of different tickers, a bunch of different items, what works, you know, what doesn't work. It's all posted in the script section. There's auto trend one, anything you like, it's there. I could set it up again. If you look into the announcements section from resources, I posted all my buy and sell, right? If you look at the announcement from 5/17, where I shared my setup with you guys, right? 5/17 with all the indicators and all the support resistance, open range breakout, buy and sell pressure, everything is posted here. So whenever you're ready to use or migrate that setup into your own, you just have to follow the links, right? You click the link where it says link to my entire workspace. You click on that, it will bring up a screen. Can you guys see my screen where it says Spy to Workshop?
Just 1 minute.
Right?
Yes, this one?
What do you guys see on the screen now?
The SPY ED workspace.
Okay, beautiful. So that's what you need to look at, right? When you see this, you scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
And you click on view in Thinkorswim, right? If you click on view at Thinkorswim, just accept, open Zulu. So what you will do, you won't see any screen pop up. What you have to do is just come here, come to your main screen. You will see it. See the workspace here? It says saved from mine on 22, which is today's day. So you could rename it and then call it, hey, you know, Ken's workspace, whoever workspace, name your own, or you just want to say, you know, my setup, whichever, you know, I could say my setup or my screen. If you set this up and then just click OK, right? Once you click that, you could always come back up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see it says my screen. There you go. You see, you just have to load it from here. So this is where a lot of people get confused in terms of.
Let me check. I'm doing this one right now. So
yeah. When you do that, it should help you easily to kind of open it. And then in case any of the studies are missing, oftentimes what happens, it disappears. When I say disappear, it doesn't really migrate because it's not saved on your computer. So you could individually download or save each of the indicators, you know, right below where I posted. It says support resistance. You could click on that same way. So let me show you how that one works. So if I go back to the announcement section where it says SPY support and resistance right here, it says study. This is not a workspace, this is a study. So you come here, same thing, view in Thinkorswim, you click it here, and you click Open Zulu Platform. There you go. And you have to go back. There's no automatic pop-up. You just have to go into your Thinkorswim again, your main Thinkorswim, and you rename it as, hey, you know, either it's support and resistance, auto support and resistance, call it auto support, auto SR. This is the name I call it, auto SR, right? And you click OK. In case it's missing on your chart, you could always come back here on this section and you just add it. You just search for it here. Let's say auto, see how it's saved up here? This one. Can you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you just have to name it and make sure you find it under studies when you are looking to add any of the studies here. It should be coming here or here. Any of these, you just type in. So I have what's, this is my back test one. This is the ORB one. You know, I don't have this one on the screen. So what I'll do, I'll add this one. So what ORB does, I'll show you. This is beautiful. Like you guys will love this one if you know how to use this. So I click apply, look, something will pop up automatically on the ORB. ORB is an open range breakout. What it means, it's telling you that it might be breaking up or breaking down. Once you see these ranges, right? Do you see this range? These are automatically built in. It shows you. For Thinkorswim, it doesn't work for auto trade, but you could use this or TradeStation to auto trade it for you. So I'll take a pause here for 2 minutes and I'll answer any questions you might have. Anyone else, just throw it in the lounge or feel free to speak. And then I'll come back to explaining what ORB and rest of the stuff works and then wrap it up.
Is ORB the yellow trend line? Or I guess the horizontal line?
Chris, yes. So right now it automatically prints, it's been in that range, right? Since you're looking at a longer time frame, it works auto and all time frame, you know, no question asked, but I'll show you what it really does. So what it does on a day time frame, if you look at it, so it might be giving you guys too much noise, but I like it. You know, this one tells me, hey, you know, it's about to break out or break in. You see this happen here, right in between the TCO 100 and the TCO 0. Do you guys see it? Actually, let me use a better ticker, TS, LA. See, any time frame you see, there's always show you a range. It tells you if you want to trade in, trade out. It gives you a range. Look at this one here, example, beautiful. You see it, right? So this is a 5 minutes. It's telling you open, TCO open. That means it's gonna get in and you're gonna get you out right here. So it gives you a time frame in terms of when you should get in or get out, right? So I changed this a little bit when I did my setup. You could change around with whatever. I changed the color to red, you know, edit studies, you know, could always change it. Open, close, I did arrow. You could do green, and then TCO close, red, like it's telling you, okay, close it. And then TCO open, obviously TCO open red, TCO open red. And when you close it, you could, oh, sorry, this one is wrong, sorry. Open is green. When it opens, it is green. And then when you close it, so this works on both upside and downside. So I'll say apply. Beautiful, look at this. See, green is telling you open a position, and red, you close it here. So it tells you a range. Every time it's looking to break out in any of the range between the yellow lines, it automatically shows you. This kind of like auto trades for you if you have it on different platform, which I'm looking to identify for us. So we could just enter a trade and forget about it. Let it do the work, right? But not worry about it. Look at this, every time it breaks out a range, it does it. I think this one was shown up perfectly on Facebook today. If you, oh, beautiful, look at this. Look at this, you see this morning when I came in, you know, since I'm testing this out, I'm not heavily relying on this one yet because this is a new setup that I'm trying out, but it looks like it's been back testing out pretty well. So it gives you indicator, right? Support 1, it holds it. Then you get a second indicator that an indecision, and then it gives you a level here, flat out level. And it gives you a nice green arrow to get in, right? Boom, you get in, up, 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 you ride it, then you get another confirmation that it broke out of the range, this yellow line here, right? It broke out of that range for you. So once this one breaks, boom, you go up, and it tells you here, right, to get out, right? It tells you right here, get out, you get out. Does this make sense for you guys?
Yeah.
Yes. So another question, why you have 5 minutes of setup? For example, if we are doing stock trading, then we need to get out at any time, you know, it may fall at any time. So we are actually.
Yeah, so what I was explaining earlier, depending if you're buying stock options for shorter time, let's say if you want to get in the morning when markets open at 9:30 and you just want to get out end of the day. So you look at shorter time frame. I even look at, like, you know, I'm such a micro trader that I love doing swing, but given situation, you know, current market, everything's just, you know, up and down, up and down. So it becomes crazy. So I like it 5 minutes. I look at on a day scheme. I look at this one and I look at my hourly chart side by side. If I want to do, let's say here, and I'll put FB, but importantly on a day trade, I look at this one here, the hourly, what's happening within the hour, right? What's happening within my hour and why is it playing out? Let me see, slide, Heikin-Ashi. See, these all saved itself. I don't really have to do much. So I watch this one hourly when I come in the morning. I look at this one and then, you know, I play around with the minutes. So entry position, this is my trend line, what's happening in the hourly. Look how beautiful it showed up, right? In the morning. This is at 12 o'clock before it started running. So at 12 o'clock, it told me that, hey, you know, this is your stop. You could get in here. This should be your stop loss. You could get in here and then kind of ride it up. This one gave me an earlier time frame, but this one really confirmed at 12 o'clock. Right at this dot, when it crosses over the support line, right? Your moving averages. So you could take it from here if you go on a shorter term, but morning I'll look at this one. If, for example, you want to buy a stock for longer term, you want to hold it for 5-10 years, then you would have to change your complete strategy. Then you will have to look at, you know, obviously your longer time frame. What's happening on the weekly, what's happening on the longer term on a trend basis. So this is where your beautiful trend will appear if you do on the longer time frame. Can you see it? This is, I'm on a weekly chart. I'm not on a daytime or on a weekly chart if I'm looking to get into for like a couple of months. Look, April 14, it told me to get in here. If I held it that long, if I was to buy stock, I would look at these, you know, I wouldn't look at anything else and say, hey, it's missing something. This is my longer term range. I could go farther into my timing, right? And do it as well too. So if I want to change my timing and do a longer term, obviously you could always customize it and do add time frame and then do max available on a monthly. So you see your monthly chart. So this should be your key time frame if you want to see long-term stocks, whether you buy any stocks or something that pops up on news, but to solid buy, for example, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Boeing, those you could always use longer term frame. It gives you a clear picture. So this should be, gives you a nice clear picture. This is a monthly. Each of the candle here represents on a monthly basis. So you could pretty much clearly see the line. So look, this, you know, everything was down. When April came, March came, it started picking up from right here. It held above that 20 line and boom, it closed today at 234. So it's just pretty good. You should start always from top down if you're looking to buy stocks. Options, yeah, you could still do that, but option obviously has time decay, right? And stock doesn't. So that's a good part. Even though it costs 1/10 of it, that's why we use option instead of stocks. I'll take a pause here and I'll take any questions now.
The ORB is a study or custom script?
No, it is a strategy. It's not a
Oh, okay.
study.
Oh,
It is a custom script, absolutely. It was built by some of the most smart guys that I know that does scripting. If you guys know Mobius, Mobius is a godfather of script. He builds scripts for like hedge funds or big guys. Mobius. So he uses a lot of it. He builds a lot of these, along with obviously you could change it to your settings. And I'll show you guys how I change mine, codes and all that stuff. But that's a lot more complicated stuff. It will eventually will pick up as you go. But you could do your own script, and scripts are a lot more advanced if you want to trade. Let's say, for example, I have support and resistance, right? This is my script here. This is not even, it wouldn't even show you script. It will show you if you come here as EY, any of it, right? My resistance, you're gonna have to come here, edit the code. So when I edit the code, this is, see how it's built by Mobius? It says
yeah.
Mobius. I got it from Mobius. And then I played around with, changing the setting, the colors. If you guys are good at coding, if you guys are good at reading it, writing it, you could do a whole bunch of stuff. Like sometimes I change the time frame if I don't like some funky colors, nothing to the head level because it does mess up the setting at times if you play around with too much. But you could just easily import it, copy paste it, dump it in here, and then just play around with it and see how it works. Like I've been playing around with these things, a lot of times. As you guys know, I'm up pretty late, so I'm kind of studying, what works, doesn't work. It's not only for you guys, it's for myself too. The more I learn, better I trade. I always believe in that. I think you guys have seen that. I try to put a lot of time and seeing what works for most of us, because if I lose money, you lose money, or whoever is following, or everybody does trade. But typically on a day trade on options, given the market volatility, I don't even look at longer term, like this chart here. This is a monthly chart. If I buy stocks, that's when I look at it. Or if I want to do any pop-up ones, let's say, for example, you saw, what was the one that popped up? SRNE, right? Chris? It was
What?
the ticker that popped up on the news.
Well, I mean, Dr. Fauci was talking about Mirena. That's really the one that was.
And this one is starting with the cancer therapy, I think, right?
Yeah, this one's, yep.
Yeah. So this one, guys, this is a pretty good example, right? If you really want to do stocks like this volatile, I don't know how to trade. Like I wouldn't even just buy it. I'll just probably scalp it to the full limit every minute. Like just buy, sell, right? Because the thing jumps on news and then it gets dumped. Look at it. It was like what, $10 the other day?
Yeah.
Look at the
jumps.
If you look at the 1-day chart, look where it jumped. I saw this and I was like, okay, this is coming down. I didn't want to, I couldn't short it because now I have cash account. You cannot short on cash account on the challenge account. It becomes too noisy. So I use primarily focusing and trading on, building up this smaller account with 10,000. I'm almost at 25,000 if I close out, hopefully good next week. This week has been crazy. So this is something I would look at if I do quick in and out buy sell on a junky stocks. I wouldn't even look at one day. I would just play with literally 5 minutes. What happened at the open, right? I'll see what happened at the open. Look at this. I mean, how do you trade this one? This is like, you have to sit there every minute. Boom here, look at down here, sold up here. So it depends how you play these. But if you want solid stocks, then obviously, you don't want to go with this kind of, news driven one, unless the company is very good, has good financials. But that's for another session. I'll focus on to just more from the setting perspective. So this is my daily setups. You guys all have it. In case you are missing any of the indicators or do not know how to set it up, review the video or just ask me questions. You know, I'm here. I should be able to save it, but you should always first migrate it, save all the studies, and then, you know, play around with how it is. And if I do bare naked charts, I'll show you guys how to, you know, save this one. Once you have it done, everything included, you could always save it as, let's say this is your day, I'll call it DT, this is my day trade. I'll just save it as day trade. And then if I want to do swing, I'll say swing. Like I have different ones. So every time I come here, I remove everything. One shot, I come to set and I do my new swing. I just do add selected, right? Pretty neat because I don't really have to do this all over again. It just shows up, right? Automatic is everything is here. Oh, I think I did it twice. Let's edit it. Add select, there you go. Right, apply, voila. What I have here, I could see what's in my long-term one. Oh, what is all this junk? Oh, these are my bat, bear, and wolf stuff that I used to use it for longer term, whatever. These are like more from FX trading. So I'll come here. Like you could save it in any different way you want it. Look it into your longer time frame. You know, you could play around with it and go from there. It gives you a clear sense of how things should work out and shouldn't work out for you guys. Can you please tell which strategy should be used if someone is working between 9 and 5? Alex, good question. This one, I don't know, depending on your style, how quick you could trade, right? Everyone trades, like when I used to work, you know, obviously you depend on your work nature, how flexible you are, your computer, and whatnot. But since you start at 9 or 8 o'clock, you could do pre-market scan for any breakouts, anything. I mean, I have a lot of the advanced stuff too. I will do it on the next session for you guys. That should give you guys a clear direction. Obviously, it depends on your style. You could do day trade, swing trading. If you're working full time, you should definitely look into your charts in the morning and what the intraday is doing, right? What the price action, the volume, any catalyst, meaning news or such. And you could obviously, you know, do it that way. Or if you think something is going to pop, you have to start from top down. Alex, when you go home after work, you want to play something the next day, you know, take half an hour, look at the tickers from top down to the monthly, to the daily charts, to even to the hourly charts, and see how things are in terms of trend, price action, and whatnot. And obviously play it that way. It's very hard to manage work and trading. I have done it many years. I was very successful at it. Beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. Obviously, you know, we all knew here, you know, most of the guys. But back in when I started trading, you know, I would do it from phone. It's not as effective as you're sitting in front of the desk, but there's ways around it. As you play around, you could see all working for you. You don't really need too much of it. I actually trade better on my phone than looking at the laptop. I could go pretty quick in and out by looking at the charts on the laptop and then closing it in and out. So if your work allows you to access Webull charts, that's a great source. I think it's open. I don't think any company policy will block it. Or you could look at TradingView, just look at charts and whatnot, or Yahoo Finance. So you could play around that way too. There's ways to kind of play around with, you know, when you're working full time. So does that answer your question, Alex? And yes, those script does automatic support and resistance levels for you. I have it up on the room. So you could look at those. It will print on the laptops precisely compared to any other ones. So you could see it from there, right? And then kind of play around with that. So I'll take a pause here. We have literally 6 minutes to go before I move on and close it out for today until next session. Any question? Anyone on the phone?
The script is in the resource section, TOS script.
Yeah, so some of it is there, and then my entire setup. Who's this? Who am I speaking to? If I
Islam.
Hey, bro.
Islam.
So it's in the announcement section, and it's
Yeah.
section announcement section. It breaks out what it does, some of the stuff you saw here, and then in any additional script you want to try out, it's in the TOS script section.
Okay.
Yeah, you will find it here. I mean, obviously, you know, if you want to play around with things, whichever you want to do, you could do, you know, whatever. I have a bunch of stuff here that I save. You know, if I save this one, it's easy for me to kind of, you know, play around with it. And you do, you know, you come in the morning and then that's it. All you have to do is forget about it, set it up and go. Then I'll show you guys to do more advanced setting if you guys are interested later at the second session. I know we've been talking for so long. So yeah, this is the setup I shared with you guys. It's all in the form. Oh, something looks off here. All right. Oh, sorry. This one should be here. This one at the bottom. This is my setup for you guys. You know, ORB is really good if you're looking at, you know, longer time frame, shorter time frame. It works best below hourly. So right now I'm on a monthly chart. It doesn't really show me the breakout. If I go to 30 minutes time, you will obviously see the differences here, like my breakout time. This works better shorter time, hourly, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. The breakout here, the yellow ones, these are pretty good to do catch any breakouts if you see on the chart. Any questions before I wrap up, guys?
Yeah, I got to practice with the mobile because, as you were talking about before, I'm pretty confident I could do the charts on the desktop. It's just my job. It just requires me to just not be able to do it on the desktop as I would like to do.
Yeah, for the mobile one, there's a mobile indicator I posted, arrow up and down. That's all you need. For your mobile one, I don't think you will need all that. Just the arrow, the view up, and the simple moving average. If you could follow those on your mobile along with your volume and RSI, that's it. You don't need anything else on the mobile because it just creates a lot of noise on a little screen and you might get lost between trading and market.
Well, I would like to try it because I'm using I'm using the Heikin-Ashi currently, which is working. I definitely would like to try to get that ORB in there on the up and
I don't know if
and
the
down arrow.
ORB will work on your mobile though.
It will not.
I don't. You could give it a try. Give it a try and let me know. If it doesn't, I don't think you would, because the script is so much advanced. I don't think it will fit into the mobile, because some things are, you know, it's not mobile friendly as a desktop. But give it a try and let me know.
Will do.
Yeah. So, you know, guys, thank you very much for attending. I know it's Friday. I'm gonna cut it short. If you have any questions, just throw it in the lounge. Ask myself. Ask, you know, DT. You could ask anybody. I know we have a super team in the lab, you know, all of us who are very helpful to answer questions. Myself, you know, if I can answer you guys, then we have the new person, we have Y10, we have Alex, we have few other guys that are very good and very active. They could help you answer question in case I don't see everything on the chart, right? Or if I don't see everything in the lounge. I'll be happy to help. And on the next session, I will do one more into how to do it on the on demand, how to use this chart in on demand, meaning going back to previous day and kind of trade. I'll show you guys how to do that on the next TOS advanced charting and trading. All right, so
I guess my final question: are you going to put up a either on the Facebook or inside the Discord another weekly list to watch, even though next week is a short week?
Yeah, I will. What I'll do once the dark pool data is printed for the day, it usually comes end of the day or Saturday morning for the weekend. But usually on the weekdays, it comes at by 9-10 o'clock. And I look at the data, I kind of do the massaging, but on Fridays, it comes in other times. So I will do that. I'll put it up and you guys should see it, okay?
Works. That works because I typically use that to practice making some TAs.
Yeah. All right, guys, enjoy your time and happy Memorial Day. You know, stay active, keep learning. We'll talk on Tuesday morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.